Hi everybody, it's Tracy again from the Tea Plays Nice podcast. You can find me everywhere on social media as Tea Plays Nice, and that's Ravelry, Facebook and Instagram. We do have a Ravelry group to go along with the podcast, and that is the Tea Plays Nice podcast forum. Now up to 100 members in the forum, so I'd like to welcome the new people, and that's Little Things Loved, Esther49, Crafty Nelly and Kentucky Girl 1961. Hi guys, hope you enjoy watching the podcast and you have fun in the forum. So thank you everybody who's returning viewers and anybody new that's watching this week. I really do appreciate your company. I've turned into quite a sporadic podcaster, I must admit. I did try and do weekly, but life gets in the way, so I think it's going to be posting as and when I've got things to talk and show about. So, hi. Podcast news this week. The virtual book club is going well. We've got lots of people that have read. We're reading The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. Lots of people seem to be nearly finished the book or finished the book. Can't wait till we can all start having a good old chinwag about it and seeing what we've enjoyed or what we didn't like about the book. There is a link up for the next one, so everybody can make their suggestions, so I can random generate soon on what the next book's going to be, if you want to keep it going. So that's that one. The Summer Loving Cow, we've got the chit chat for thread, and that's all up and running, and that one's quite good. We've got lots of participation going along in that one. I did also open up a thread for finished objects, so it makes it easier when I come to draw the prizes. So if you could pop your finished projects into that one as well, please, that would be really helpful. I know Linda, I've got to move one of yours across if I know how to do it, if I can figure out, and then that one's in there. I know Imiko's got one. I've actually done 2 projects up to now. I've finished my jumper I was doing the other week, which I'll show you in a bit. It's blocking at the moment. So that's quite good, and we've got lots of the other people participating. Come on, I'd like to see how we're going, and just please post pictures as you go along. It doesn't have to be finished objects in the chitter chatter, it can be as you work along. So that would be nice to see some of your finished objects. Talking about the knit along, I showed you last week that I'm donating a Devon Sun yarn as one of the prizes, and I've got a set of my Blue Moon stitch markers as another prize. And we were also lucky enough last week, Boo Knits got in contact, and she's donating a collection of her shawls as a prize for somebody. And I need to stretch, just excuse the rattling. I was also contacted by another lady called Tracy, and she spells it exactly the same way as me, and that's Tracy from, she's known on Ravelry as TNT Cake Tracy. She's got a little Etsy shop, and it's etsy.com UK shop. August Paddock Makes is her. So she contacted me and said, could I pass you a bag to give away to somebody in your cow? And I said, yeah, more the merrier. So it's nice to know that we're going to have some good prizes for my first ever cow. I'm really excited that people are being so generous and donating prizes. Anybody else wants to donate a prize, you're more than welcome. So I'm just going to show this little bag. Or a little bag, it's not actually one of our little bags. She was very, very generous. And it's one of her large project bags. And you've got the lovely little tag that she's written for the winner. Look at this, it's so cute. It's got little doves on it, and it's got the flowers, a nice yellow zipper, and it's quite a spacious. It opens up on the back, and you've got your little beaded zipper pull there that goes along, and inside it's all lined, so it's quite a substantial bag. I reckon you could get a sweater in there more than easily. So that's one of the prizes for the cow. and it's all nicely wrapped up in tissue paper, and bless Tracy's heart, because she posted that to me, she also sent me a little gift just for me, which I think is lovely, and she sent me this most adorable little notions pouch. It's got notions, look, and it's proper. I do like roses, and I am a bit of a twee person, I must admit, as you can see. It zips open and it's got the lovely lining inside, and inside there was a pencil. Again, a very pretty pencil with the roses on. And there's 2 little heart chocolates just for me. 2 of those. And as soon as I said, oh, chocolates, Hubby said 1 each. So he's trying to bag one of my chocolates. Not happening. Oh, that's the cow. And all the other podcast news that I can think of, to be honest with you. So that's that done and dusted. I've had a little break. As you're aware, those that watched the last podcast, I was going away with my aunt, and I went to Kent with my aunt. It was just me and my mum, and we went to stay with my aunt and her son and his partner, and we had the most amazing week. To be perfectly honest with you, if I wasn't married and I didn't have a home to come to, I would not have come home. I absolutely loved it. We were very, very fortunate with the weather. We had perfect weather. The sun was shining. It was very, very warm. And I spent my days feeding. They live in a granary barn conversion. And they got a very large garden that was just grass when they took it over. And they're landscaping in it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And they've got chickens. They've got a couple of chickens, or 3 chickens actually. And they've got a chocolate lab, which is, as you know, those that watch, is my dream dog. So I was spending lots of time just hanging washing on the line, chilling with my aunt and my cousin and his partner, feeding the chickens, doing the washing, and just general pottering, going to garden centres and eating lots and lots of cake. I did put on a little bit of weight, but I lived life last week and it was fun, and you know what, I absolutely loved it. I was quite fortunate while we were away, and this takes me into stash enhancement in a way. So my podcast is literally flipping around this week to what it normally is. And where Aunt lives, there's I can't even think where it is now. How bad is that? There's a little wool shop in the village, and Aunt laughed and joked at me because she knows what I normally like to knit, and she said, we have got a wool shop, but the owner's at 83 and the sales assistant is, I think she said 67. And I just thought that was amazing. So I had to go in there one day, but we didn't plan to go there right away. Well, our main day out, we went to Bodiam Castle, but on another day out, we went to Tenterden, which is they call it the town, but to me it's like a little village. And we went into Tenterden town centre, and there is a wool shop there called Hoop. Now, I wasn't expecting, Auntie didn't know it was there, and we weren't expecting to find a wool shop when we went into Tenterden, and we found Hoop. Now, Hoop, I died and gone to heaven. Anybody that lives near Kent that way, or Tenterden, please find Hoop, because it's a lovely shop, very shabby chic looking inside, but they stock the Debbie Blisses, the Rowans and the Langs, and so I did have to make a purchase. Be rude not to. And my first purchase, I must admit, it was because I was very limited on time because we weren't expecting to find anywhere. I just picked up 2 balls of the Lang Yarns Jowl Magic Superwash, and it's basically a sock quilt, but I picked up this one, which is the reds and the oranges and the blue, and it really does look almost like a parakeet colourway, bird of paradise, I would call it colourway, and that is 25% polyamide and 75% virgin wool. And there's 400 metres on the ball, so I fell in love with that one. I don't know why, because I don't normally do such bright colours, but I fell in love with that one. And then I also picked up, which I can show you what I'm working on in a minute, because I've actually started a project with the other one. And that is this colourway, and it's browns and pinks, peachy yellow. Which is, I don't know if you can actually see it. Yeah, there you go. So again, I just picked up the 2 balls from there. I could have spent an absolute fortune, but it was an impromptu getaway, so I just picked up those from there. And I would recommend anybody go there. And then on another day, we did perchance to go back to the little, sorry about the crinkling, the little independent that basically stocks the Kinko's and acrylic, that type of thing, that we've become accustomed to, or we're used to. And I just couldn't walk out of there without spending. I do try and support the independent wool shops because I think I don't want to lose them. So I did pick up a crochet hook, one of the Knit Pro ones that I've been hankering after, and I thought everybody goes how wonderful they are, so I thought I'd give it a go. This is the 4.5mm, and while I was in there I did pick up just acrylics basically, but I picked up a cream, and then I picked up from Kinko their Cherish, and I picked up the pink Cherish, and then I picked up this one which has got the blues, the pinks, the browns and the creams in, with a view to just doing a little bit of crochet while I was up there, because I did actually take a jumper to knit, but I had so much knitting time on my hands I nearly did finish it. So I bought this, as I say, with a view to doing some crochet, and I just thought I would do, sorry I'm not looking at you, I'm trying to find the name of the, I'm going to do just a little cushion. I thought I'd like to do a little cushion maybe, and I'm doing the Granny Square in Bloom pattern by Crochet Time, and it's like, it's got the bobbles, it's quite a textured one, and then you've got your flower, and then you do this, and these really do, they're a lot quicker than the other crochet that I planned to do back along. So I've done that one. These were done at Auntie's, that one, and then I did a pink one, just a plain pink and white one, and I did start another one. So they were done at Auntie's, and very nice it is too, quite relaxing, quite enjoyable. But I need to not let that go, because I have a habit of picking things up and not doing them, which is what's happened to Mum's stuff at the moment. So that was part stash and part sorry about the lighting again. I've really got to get in and tidy this room next week so I can move in here, because at the moment I really can't move. So that was that one done, and that was my stash enhancement. As I say, had a fantastic week. Cried on the Sunday because it was kind of like I have to come home, and I didn't want to come home, and I was getting a little bit stressy because I was coming home to test and things, and not even before I'd left, my aunt said my boss contacted me and asked me if I could do overtime when I'm home the very next day. And to be honest with you, I'm not a shirker, I'm a worker, and just the whole stress of I got employed by some friends who have a shop, and they were supposed to understand what I was going through and everything, but it just seems every week we're being asked to do overtime, and I'm really coming to the conclusion mixing work life with friends is not a good idea. I still love them dearly, they're still my friends, but I think I need to reassess something there. But I'm quite happy working there for the moment, but I think things will be reassessed quite shortly. Had my test, had come home to have blood test done, so nothing really major. Not sure if it was because of the hot day, but my blood was flowing really freely. This morning I've been for an ECG. That's come back, that was normal, so that's good news. Have to phone my daughter before I put this up, so she knows before you lot do. Or you guys, sorry, not you lot, that's rude. You guys, sorry. So that's all in order, but enough about that. Works in progress this week. Well, I finished my, I don't know if you remember last time I was talking about the pom-pom magazine that I'd found, and I was going to do Water Lily. I'm just going to bring it up on the iPad for you to see. I was doing Water Lily. Why is it you always get what you don't want up on the podcast? So look. Water Lily, which is by, in the Pom Pom magazine, I don't know if you can see that, the Pom Pom magazine, and I actually did it in the Debbie Bliss bright green colourway. I'm just moving stuff so you'll be able to see. I don't know if you're going to be able to, but if I quickly come with me, move it along. Can you see? I don't know if you can. It's blocking. Here we go. Well, that's the top of it, and then if I pan down, that's the bottom of it. So it's blocking at the moment. I shall move you back. I don't want to get you too dizzy, guys. So sorry. So that is blocking at the moment. I finished that. That was such a quick and easy knit. I did have a little stumble with panties, and it did take me one afternoon to try and figure out I was going from the stocking stitch to the lace panel here. And the Latvian braid, which I thought was going to be the major ooh-ah for me, turned out really, really simple and easily. It's just the way you wrap the two yarn A and B. It's the same colour, but it's just how you wrap that to make it look like it's a ripple edge across before you go into the lace work. That was fine. And then I had a afternoon where I should put brain into gear before I actually sat down to knit, because I had to do knit 2, slip 1, knit 2, pass slip stitch over. For some unknown reason, no, slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. See, it's gone again. Slip 1, knit 2, pass slip stitch over was what I should have been doing, and I was doing the slip 1, knit 2 together, pass slip stitch over. I was getting it totally wrong. And then it took me an afternoon, and I would do it, and I would do about 6 rows, and I thought, it doesn't look right. You know instantly it didn't look right. Rip it back, start again, rip it back, start again. Well, I went to bed at Auntie's at about 10 o'clock that evening, and thought, couldn't do it. Very, very annoyed that I couldn't figure it out. So I went to bed at 10 o'clock, and I'm really naughty. I do take my knitting up to bed. If I can't sleep, I'll sit and do a couple of rows, and I did figure it out. And I eventually got to sleep that night at 1:30 in the morning, because I wanted to get a good bit of work to catch up done. So literally only took me, bearing in mind I was on holiday, we were going out sightseeing as well as relaxing. The car journey up was fantastic for getting all the stocking stitch done. A 5-hour car journey is amazing from what you can get done, and it took me just under 2 weeks from start to finish, so I was very happy with that pattern. Really, really lovely. And because I've got the new lovely yarn, and in the little wool shop I work in on a Wednesday, they'll be doing Mobius cow workshops, and I can never get to the workshop because it's a Sunday when I work in the corner shop. So I followed Cat Body's Mobius cow cast on, and I must admit I found it really quite simple once I'd watched that video once, and it was like, I'm away, I can do this. And I did enjoy casting on, but I only did a little bit with practice yarn, and when I pulled it off, I thought I do like it, but I didn't like it in the wool I had chosen to use. So I've gone back and I'm started something else for the moment, and I'm using the Lang yarn, and I've decided to start, if I can, it's not in my notebook, it's in my library. I've actually started to do a shawl, and it's the EIKU, and it's by Sapini Designs. I don't even know if I'm even saying that right. I will show you the pattern. Now this is the one I'm doing, but I've gone up a needle size because I want it a bit more. I'm doing it in lace weight. Sock weight. That is sock weight on a slightly smaller needle. I want more of a light finish, and I started it this morning. Sorry, it's going to go that way, isn't it? So I've done that much up to now. So yeah, not too bad. Getting there with that. Quite happy girl. So that's that one. That basically, that really is my work in progress, because I haven't started another sweater. I am a sweater knitter more than anything. I haven't started another sweater yesterday because while I was in the shop, my boss has some wool books reduced from Debbie Bliss, and it's the Beach Bells one, and there's about 6 patterns in the book that are all, to me, all year round wears. So I kind of like have left the book there, so not knowing I was going to finish all my knittings quite so quickly. I left the book there, so next week when I go in I can pick the yarn to go with one of the patterns there to start, because I just thought I'd like some nice simple jumpers to do the scarves with, and I can have really brightly coloured scarves and do some really plain jumpers for a little bit. That'll go with everything from jeans to skirts to trousers. So really quite a useful wardrobe trying to get together. So that was that one. So that's done. The finished object, it was blocking last week when I showed you this, and this is, I've still got one end to sew in. The little, I just think it's lovely. It really, I can't even. This was what the vortex shawl that I was doing for the Summer Loving Cow. I've done this one and the pom-pom jumper now for the Summer Loving Cow. So that one's all finished and blocked. I must admit, it's not as large as I was thinking it would be, but I was thinking mainly for Mum when she goes to Cyprus, and I was thinking she'll be able to just wrap it around. Oh, I don't know, that's alright. Put a little pin in so she can just wrap it around her shoulders like so, and it's really, really lightweight, but it's just to keep the chill off. So that is what Mum will be getting for her birthday in June, and I will go and get her a nice little shawl pin to go with it, I think. A nice little glitzy one. So that is all finished and off the needles and all blocked in. Happy girl. So, not a lot really to speak about this week. I'm still trying to catch up on all the podcasts I missed while I was away last week. I did get to watch a couple. So to Denise from the Knitting Den, Tilly, Pen Hook and Needles, Marlisha, and Lady Fernanco. I hope you're all well. They're the main ones I watch, and I do like to watch two tangled skeins as well, which is Kerry, Sue, and Toe Baby. Sorry, I think it's Sue, but that's not her Ravelry name. And Toe Baby. I just think Kerry, I wish I could knit like her. She just whips it all up, and it's all Fair Isle and Tarsia, and she's just a very accomplished knitter, and I do like watching. So I'm hoping to catch up on some of the podcasts or in Little Yellow Luke. and lots and lots more. So I'm hoping to catch up with you all again soon. Now I know over the last couple of weeks I have omitted a section, and it wasn't until I was watching something the other week on television, and there was a section where they were talking, and all of a sudden somebody said, I need it in my life. And I've kind of like not focused on anything I need in my life in the last couple of weeks. Or, well, I think for the last month I've been podcasting. I don't think I've done an I need it in my life section. But, in all honesty, yesterday, hubby's Motability car had to go in to the garage for its service. And because he's got back complaint and he's disabled, he gets a courtesy car for his mobility car. And sorry, they always give him a courtesy car, and normally it's just a car. I didn't go with him when he took the car in the garage. I was pottering at home for some reason, and when he came through the door, he said, you have got to be joking. How embarrassing. You should see the car they've given me to drive. Blah, 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 like a man does. Not happy with, obviously, the car he'd been given as a courtesy car. And I was kind of like, just be thankful you've got a car to drive. Now, I don't drive. I've never driven. I did do a couple of tests. Didn't pass, because I get very nervous at tests. So I didn't think much of it, and then he said, really, it's baby blue. Well, I then had hubby drive some kind of Ford Focus. See, non-car driver, don't even look at cars, don't care what make, brand. I've got a couple of friends apparently, her and her hubby drive Audis. I've got another friend that drives a BMW, and they go on about their cars all the time, how lovely they are, how it's a car, gets you from A to B. You put petrol in it, it enables you to go somewhere and come home again. It's a car. That's all I've ever thought of. So I'm not really interested. But hubby come in ranting and raving, and I had to go and see what he was popping a gasket over this car, because it was baby blue with white trim. So I need it in my life. Yesterday, after seeing this little car, it's a Fiat 500, and I'm quite a retro girl, so to me that was lovely. I like that. But look at that dashboard. How cool is that car? So I have gone from not caring about cars, not wanting ever to learn to drive, not interested, to I need to learn to drive that car. And hubby was saying, well, we haven't got that car. And I said, I would willingly learn to drive and save up for that car. And I did actually sit in it, and everything just felt like it was made for me. The steering wheel was the right height, the gear stick was, I know the term, the gear stick was just right. I could see out the window, I could see out the windscreen, I could see out of the windscreen, and I could actually see the road in front, where normally I'm like this when I've tried to drive in the past. And I was a little bit cheeky, and I did start up the engine, and I kind of like put the clutch in and played with the gears, and I just fell in love with a little car. And when it was time to take that car back, boy did I sulk. I wanted it. I wanted to keep it, and I did not want it to go back. Hubby's rather relieved it's gone back, and he's back to his normal silver man's car. But I am seriously considering learning to drive. And I've kind of been reassessing my life the last couple of days, more so than anything. I mean, I know I've suffered in the past with, as I've spoken to you guys before, with the anxiety and the depression, blah, blah, blah. How boring for you all. And I'm coming out. I can feel I'm coming out the other side slightly. There is something medical, we think, going on at the moment that I've attributed to the anxiety and depression. It still might be, but whatever will be, will be. And I just think, you know what? I want to go and get a different job, maybe, and learn to drive and be independent, and things are looking up. I feel really positive at the moment about everything, and I've had a lovely weekend away with my auntie, a week away with my aunt, and I've got a holiday coming up with my daughters, and I've got another holiday. Aunt's invited me and myself and my husband back in August with our dog, and my mum and her hubby back. So things are really, really beginning to look up, and I'm enjoying my knitting again, and I just need to get on top of things I've neglected in the past. Because I was the main breadwinner with hubby's disability, it kind of became he was the house husband and I was the worker, and it's kind of like, I think that's helped contribute to some of the doldrums we both suffered, because he wants to be a working man and I want to be a housewife, and it's not going to happen. But even if we step back a bit and we start doing the things, I start doing a little bit more around the house, freeing him up to do a little bit of what, hopefully that he'll be able to go out. It's still difficult because there's not much that society will let him do. I think they kind of like to chuck you on the scrap heap a little bit when you get to say a little back complaint in this country. It's kind of like, you've got a bad back, nobody will employ you on flexi because of the pain he's in. He can't really. But I think it's nice for him that I've kind of like stepped up and said, I want to be your wife again, rather than just the breadwinner. So things are looking up, and we're really happy about it. We're really excited. I think that's all I've got to say for this week. As I say, I do try to keep them a little bit short and sweet now. I don't think there's anything I've forgotten. I've done the podcast news, I've done the works in progress, I've done the finished object 2, I've done stash enhancement. Yeah. If I forgot anything, I'm deeply, deeply sorry. Happy birthday to anybody that has a birthday while I was off, or has a birthday coming up. Happy birthday. I hope you got lots of stash and you're enjoying all your knitting. Please come along and join in the forum, and I hope to see you all again soon.